busy day for economic numbers ahead of the stock market closure Thursday for Thanksgiving and Friday's early close. With the latest numbers out this morning on durable goods, jobless claims, and GDP at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, at 9:45, the November Chicago Purchasing Managers Index is out. The government releases October personal income and spending numbers at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. At the same time, the National Association of Realtors is out with pending homes for October. Okay, so a lot of different numbers out ahead of the stock market being closed tomorrow and the early close on Friday. Okay, so what are we going to trade today? Right? That's the big question right here. What are we going to trade today? What are we going to be getting involved with today? How are we going to be making any sort of profit today? It really comes down to where the mob moves in. Where's the mob going to move into? Where's the hype going to move into? Right? That's what we really need to focus on. These are our main watches. Right? Those are our main watches. That's what we're going to want to be focusing on. We have news. We have news on AMRH, AVX, HEPA, FFHL, SEVT, TNXP. Previous top gainers of the day, which was yesterday: CCXI, BCDA, HEPA, PTI, KERN, CBAY. Stocks that spiked big last week: ARAV, DFFN, KZIA, CGIX, KRTX, MYOV, and then some just a large float squeezes. If again you're looking for something a little bit more slow and steady: TOCA, TEDU, VERI, PTEE, XERS, BKCC, and VLRX. So these are, basically our options today. You might be like, Deck, that's a lot to look at, isn't it? Well, we are going to want to focus on the news kicking on off. After that, you go to the previous top gainers, and then most likely these won't really be doing anything. So it's more, again, focusing on these, and even some of the news we can kind of disregard. Now, why would we want to disregard some of the news? Well, some of the news, guys, isn't going to be bringing that much hype in. So let's kind of work our way through here. And what I like to do every single morning is do a little bit of process of elimination, right? As I always say, guys, one of the easiest things to do in stock trading is to have a nice list of stocks that you think have the potential to break out. But then again, if nothing is really going in that favor, cross it off. You always have a list of stocks that you think are going to break out. But as the morning goes on, some things may change, right? When you guys were in high school, when you guys were in college, and it says who was the 16th president of the United States, right? And it says number one, A, Abraham Lincoln, B, George Washington, C, Donald Trump, or D, George Clooney. You could be like, okay, well, I know George Clooney is an actor, so that's not correct. So I just went from a 25% chance to now, a better 33% chance. Okay, now let's see what I have. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or Donald Trump. Well, okay, Donald Trump's today, so okay, we're going to cross that one off. So George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. Well, now it came down to a 50-50. Your odds have, again, got so much, better. And then maybe you can take, a guess or an estimate from there. Or again, you can break it down and, can finally get that answer. But a lot of times, again, on multiple choice, you try to break down which stocks have the best potential so you guys can go ahead and succeed. And that's the same exact thing I do every single morning when I'm trading stocks. I have all the hot news, and then from here, I go through and break down the ones that have potential, which ones don't have potential. So, what do we have right here? SFET. SFET, guys, does this one have potential for me today? Can this one make money for me today? Well, SFET did gap up from 670 up towards around 927. The stock went from 927 and spiked up to 1283. So immediately I know it's pretty active. The stock did go from around that 1283 mark all the way back down towards around $9, then shot all the way up towards around 1070, now sitting right around $10. SFET is 219,000 in float. I know that's an extremely low float, 219,000. And if you check on Yahoo Finance, it is 219,000. I know we always like to double check on Yahoo Finance, but it really is 219,000. So that is something that is very good. Now, is there a reason on why SFET is moving on up? Is there the credibility? What do we have right here? What do I have? Right here, it says it's financial results for its third quarter. So we do have SFET. Let's see, November 27th right here, financial results for the third quarter. So we have financial results for the third quarter, talking about an increase of 444%. So you look right here, we have our revenues for the third period of September 30th increased 444%. Very nice, very good. Now, again, earnings aren't usually my favorite, but again, a 444% gain, you can't really ignore that. So SFET, SFET, what do I like about it? I like how active this play is. I like how much this play is moving. I like how the stock does have, dollar rips and does have some good attention towards it. It is the number one top gainer. It is a low float stock, and we have seen how many plays on low float plays go on nice big rips and runs. Nearly everyone, right? We don't even need to, talk about it. KRTX, this went over on $100 spike this month, right? Huge. ARAV spiked $25 in pre-market, right? What else did we have? KZIA. KZIA, $3 all the way up to $9, right? What else do we have? MYOV, $18 spike in pre-market, right? What's all these have in common? All have, 3 million in float or below, right? SAEX, nice big spike right here, right? So a lot of these plays have been spiking huge. They all have low floats. So what am I doing with SFET right here? Do I like it? Do I dislike it? I like it. So SFET gets a little check mark. So again, I'm going to keep that one right there. All right, let's work our way on down right here. AVX. AVX, this stock most likely is going to be moving sideways throughout this whole entire day. It's also, again, 169 million in float. Notice, again, the stock went from $14, shot all the way up towards around $20. What's the press release behind it? Won an award at this convention, the SCBIO 2019. AVX, do I want to focus on this play? Yes. Do I think the stock has some potential towards it? Yes, but again, 169 million in float. It's not going to be one I'm going to focus on the bell. So I am going to probably cross this one off, at the bell. But still one I would want to look at. But just again, if I'm looking for kind of that Friday hype or that end of the week before the holiday hype, I'm looking, where's my best chance to make that money. Right? All right. So what else do we have? OCGN. Now OCGN came out with a little bit later with their press release, I believe. So I didn't have that up on our morning watch list. But right here, if we take a look over on OCGN, this is a 6 million in float stock. So it is, a lower float play. We do like that, right? Does it have any sort of news towards it over on OCGN? OCGN, our news that we have, we don't have any news. I believe we had a filing last night. The filing, yep, it came out last night, was an 8K. What is the 8K state? Because it's basically just some sort of update. As attached, this information, what do we have here? 8K form, yep. So the information filed purposes, see, as previously disclosed on October 4th in connection with the pre-merger. Okay, so they're talking about a possible merger coming up and a purchase date agreement, talking about selling warrants. So we do have a credible press release behind it. They do have a credible press release behind this play. They do have an 8K right here. And they're talking about selling their warrants for a certain price of shares. So there is credibility towards it, this 8K, right, on OCGN that came out last night. OCGN is 6 million in float. OCGN does have good buyers towards it still. It is going to have resistance at 45 cents and 50 cents. But is it one to watch at the bell? It is, right? It definitely is. Definitely is one we want to look at the bell. It's definitely one that has a little bit of potential. So I am going to add right here, just a little reminder, OCGN. All right, OCGN. This one, I'll give that a little check mark. So we have SFET, OCGN crossed off AVX. All right, what else do we have down the list? FFHL. FFHL, this is 3 million in float, but I can already tell at the bell, this is not really one I'm going to want to be looking at. Well, again, it's a low float stock. FFHL did come out with a 6K last night. So it did have a 6K last night, but this was more of an after hours move. And this morning kind of just dropped off, doesn't really have any volume. Does this right here look like a play that's going to be bringing in big time activity? Does this right here, the stock that's been dumping from $5 down to $4 and not really have any volume, look like the play that everyone's going to run into at the bell? Most likely not. So what am I going to do with FFHL? I'm going to cross that one off the list, right? What's up next? AMRH. AMRH. This stock is 2 million in float. It came out with won an award this morning for $1 million, a contract. That is, again, something we always like to look at, right? Keywords. Keywords look for in hot press releases. Keywords look for in hot press releases. Any large sum of money is a one-star word. $1 million, that's a large sum of money to me. What else do we have? A two-star word, a contract. So we have AMRH, two-star word, contract, small little pop, holding its gains, low RSI. I mean, if volume moves in on this play, I think you get a little bit of a rip. 2 million float. You know, AMRH, I think that should be one we got to look at. So AMRH, we're going to keep that on watch. All right, cool. What else do we have on watch right here? CTIB, no news on CTIB, nothing I'm seeing on this place, and nothing I really want to look right here. Let's keep moving on through right here, though. TNXP. Anything on TNXP? TNXP announces a receipt of FDA official minutes from Breakthrough. That's good. Therapy Type B clinical guidance. The only issue I have with TNXP, guys, right, is I believe, right? What does that mean? Right? What does that mean? You guys don't have to type it out because it's a lot, but you know, you guys should know. When I say it's a boy who cried wolf, that's that type of stock. You know, it means it comes out with a press release every single day. Right? Everyone knows that story, boy who cried wolf. It's basically again, you know, nonstop. He just hey, there's a wolf, and then they come over. There's there's not a wolf. He thinks it's a joke. Then again, there is a wolf, and then the kid gets eaten. Sorry if I gave you a little spoiler alert. But the thing, you know, why we call it that is because this comes out with a press release every single day. November 27th, November 26th, November 25th, November 22nd, 21st, 21st, 20th, 15th, 11th, 8th, 5th, 4th, 1st, 31st, 24th. You guys get it, right? It comes out with press releases all the time. What makes stocks spike? Press releases. But press releases, guys, are supposed to be a big thing. They're supposed to, you know, only come out maybe once every 2 months, and that gets the people excited, right? If you haven't seen, let's say, your brother or your sister or your dad or your mom, and let's say they went off in the military, right? You know, what happens after you see them for the first time in a year, right? You run over, you hug them, you're crying. It's a big deal because you haven't seen them, you know, in such a long time, right? You're very emotional. But imagine if you saw them every single day. Do you still love them? Do you still care about them? Yes. I'm not trying to say that, you know, that you don't love or care them for this analogy, but it's not like if you live with them, you wake up and you run over, you start crying, and say, Mom, I missed you so much for that 8 hours I was sleeping. Right? It's like TNXP. It's like if we haven't seen a press release on TNXP for 6 to 7 months and they come out with a press release that says, hey, we have breakthrough, you know, FDA approved, whatever, then that's a big deal. But if we had that yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, and the day before, then it's not really that exciting to us. And as traders, what gets stocks moving? Excitement, right? Excitement, right? TK, I love my parents. I hug them as much as I can as well. Okay, so you know, just kind of take it as the analogy, you know, as the example. You know, when we don't see things for a very long time, we get more excited about it because it's been long. Kind of when we see it every day, we kind of get, you know, we just all right, you know what I mean? So make sure you guys are, you know, understand that. So TNXP, this is probably one we are going to want to cross off, right? So this is one, you know, that we want to cross off right here. So, you know, we have AMRH, SFET. What about HEPA? HEPA, guys, this one started spiking yesterday from the press release that I had about 5 days ago. So I wanted to kind of put this press release in there just because, you know, 5 days ago is when we get the big time, you know, was when the stock had the gap up, but it is U-shaping back on up. Probably not when we're going to look at the bell, but HEPA, if it ever gets back above, I would say like 550, keep it on high alert. So 550, keep it on high alert. But again, we're not going to watch this one at the bell because it did fade off in pre-market. So what are our top three stocks? Top three stocks to focus on are AMRH, right? SFET, then also OCGN, right? Top three to focus on at the bell. So top three at the bell. And look at that. Just from there, guys, we were able to do a little bit of process elimination and be able to figure out, right, what has some of the best potential for us today. Which ones could possibly make us that money? Now, we only have a minute left until this market opens on up, so I'm going to throw up our scanners. And give me 1 second. Just want to make sure we're all ready to go. Yay! All right, guys. So it's 9:29. Market opens on up in about 25 seconds. And you know, I am gonna start off. I'm gonna put AMRH on the bottom because I really do like that one. I'm gonna put SFET on my side level too. And I know a lot of you guys are focused on OCGN right here. So OCGN we're gonna kick off with. We're gonna watch with to begin with. I do want to see if AMRH is gonna try to creep its way on up, maybe break a possible 250 mark, you know, or excuse me, probably maybe that 260 mark and run up to $3 again. But you know, I really want to watch that high of the day momentum scanner. And, you know, here's the morning bell. The stock market is open right now, and basically what we're going to do this morning is we're going to trade as long as there's volume. We know again tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We know we have to treat today as a Friday. We know that there wasn't really that many strong press releases today. right? If everyone's leaving today to go see family, friends, get ready for Thanksgiving, companies aren't going to put out very hot press releases, right? SFET getting a little bit of a pop right at the bell. SFET, I'm going to put that one actually on the bottom right now over on SFET to see if that can hold around $10. But we're treating today as a Friday, which means we want to trade within the first hour of the morning. After you trade within the first hour of the morning, you should lock it up, take your green, get ready for an awesome vacation. Little break coming on up here. So that's what I'm really looking at. See if I can make a quick buck and go from there. See if I can make a quick dollar, go from there. As I said, I've been hot for about 2.5 weeks. Haven't finished one day in the red for about 2.5 weeks, and I have traded nearly every single day. So SFET trying to get a little volume. Nice little pop right here on SFET. Nice little pop at the bottom. Notice this one's coming on up 38 count. 1050s holding up as a little bit of strong resistance. Good job, Yama, as well. Welcome back, buddy. I know, again, you've been out. We've been emailing each other a little bit. It's been out for about 2 weeks, and always great to see. Always great to see one of the top traders. Always in chat. Iggy Rapid always helping out here. Always doing great. Yama's another great trader as well. Right now, SFET quick pop to 950. Now having its pullback all the way back down towards around 950. It just went from, just went all the way up to 1050. Now all the way back down towards around 960. So stock went on a quick pop and then started coming back on down. SFET is starting to get what we're starting to get right here. I'm just looking around. SFET, look at this. SFET is giving a lot back, guys. SFET is giving a lot back at this moment. We got to see if this is going to be able to hold on up. Come on, all I want is that one nice trade today. Pay me out. That's all I'm saying, right? SFET starting to fall. How's AMRH? HEPA trying to get a little volume. HEPA guys starting to get a little bit of hype. Again, look back yesterday in post market. The stock went on a pretty big move. CTIB, a little bit of a pop. So HEPA trying to get a little bit of volume right now. How's AMRH? Just kind of looking around, seeing where we're going to get a little bit of that hype. Okay, nothing on AMRH right now. Let's go to HEPA. Can HEPA be able to get us a little bit of volume? Is that going to be able to get us a little bit of a spike today? Again, $5 is the third strongest resistance line in penny stocks. Breaking through $5 is where we could see some nice momentum. I wouldn't be surprised if HEPA tries to run up towards around that 525-ish mark. 525 seems like it's a nice, strong resistance line. Where am I getting that? Well, again, look at the spike right here, right? If we look, we have resistance right here. We also have, some very nice support that the stock bounced off of right there. So again, we have support. We also have resistance. 525 is most likely where HEPA is going to try to get up to. OCGN is just slowly trying to creep its way on up towards around 50 cents. It's not really a fast mover, but it is slowly trying to move its way up towards around 50 cents. I'm looking again a little elsewhere a little bit, a little bit more towards maybe HEPA, see if that could catch some fire. As I said, I'm just trying to make this quick profit, trying to make this quick buck. CLVS has been a nice little climber. Still just moving on up. CLVS has been moving on up for a few days now. Right? So that's been moving on up for a few days now. Put that on the bottom level too. And that's just been something that's been, very consistent. 4 days in a row we've seen green. And overall in about the past 2.5 weeks we've seen green over on CLVS. OCGN trying to hold up. I'm just kind of looking around, seeing where we're at here. I want to put myself in a good position to win. Right. Also, let's not forget about our previous top gainers of yesterday. What were some previous top gainers? CCXI. Could CCXI possibly come up today, guys? I mean, CCXI had that huge, right? Had that huge press release. And what was the huge press release? CCXI, the stock came out with positive phase 3 data yesterday. If CCXI starts heating on up, again, we had positive top of the line data, phase 3, that has reached its endpoints, right? That was great news. CCXI didn't really do too much yesterday other than do a nice little fade, right? Kind of faded off a little bit, but I could imagine CCXI possibly popping up to $31 and starting to, move its way all the way up towards, 32, 33. Maybe I look for the small entry over on CCXI and see if that can, maybe pay me out today over there. right? So maybe that could be our possible play. Well, I'm going to put that on the bottom level two for a moment. OCGN trying to hold on up towards around that 45 cent mark, but that's starting to fall a little bit. Let me go back over towards a 1 minute time frame over on CCXI. Check that out. Again, yeah, if I see a $31 break on CCXI, maybe looking over there. KERN was also a top gainer yesterday. KERN, that was a top gainer yesterday. Possible re-break of $8. Things can get really hot over there over on KERN. That stock yesterday started spiking at $6, went from $6, spiked all the way up to $9. Did fall back down towards around $7. Now, again, trying to get a little bit of volume, trying to get a little bit of activity. What we do like about KERN is how good that daily chart is, right? You have that 50-day moving average coming across the top, 13 EMA swooping the bottom right here. And again, what do we like to look at? Well, that falls right into one of our favorite chart patterns, right? And that's, this great squeeze right here, right? When we see this great squeeze, it's weird, it won't let me grab it. There we go. All right, so again, it's like great squeeze pattern. That's what we always like to look for. 50-day moving average at the top, 13 EMA at the bottom. Stock getting a nice little squeeze, get that nice pop. Stock getting that squeeze. Notice all the action. Notice all the volume moves in where? When again, these two indicators start squeezing, that's where you start getting that pop on up. All right, so that's what we really enjoy. That's what we really want to look at. So I'm going to put KERN on the top right now. I'm putting KERN on the top right now just because OCGN is starting to fall off a little bit. SFET's all the way back down towards $9. Then HEPA still is again having some trouble at around 520-ish. So HEPA trying to hold $5. If it falls below $5, it's done. SFET, that stock, guys, is starting to fall on off. That's getting a little bit ugly. That's done. CCXI right now starting to drop off a little bit. Most likely, that stock right now, unless it gets above that $31 mark, that stock's going to be done. KERN is a previous top gainer of yesterday. KERN is a previous top gainer of yesterday. If it could possibly break $8, we could see a little bit of volume push on through it. So right now, a lot of traders are just kind of looking to see what's going to be coming on up. Where's that hype? Where's that activity? Right? And I would love to get a nice trade into, as my final trading day of the week. But I don't want to, of course, put myself in a bad position. I mean, now we are getting HEPA trying to bounce around a little bit. That's trying to hit that 520 mark. Right now, we are starting to get a little bit of activity on HEPA. I'm going to put that up on the top level two. HEPA on the top level two. Put KERN on the bottom level two right now. And again, just trying to rotate out stocks. I'm just trying to find which stock is going to get the mob. So I'm kind of rotating, the level twos around and stuff. And that's just because I'm trying to find, which stock is going to actually bring in that good hype and good attention. Right now, HEPA does have some good volume towards it. Right now, HEPA has some good volume towards it. Good volume doesn't always mean again big, buying. Sometimes it means selling as well. But right now, the HEPA has activity. If you have activity, you can at least break through resistance. Right now, HEPA, nice little pop. All right, so HEPA, nice little pop right here. That stock went really quick up towards around that 540 mark, back down towards around 525. So HEPA trying to get a little bit of volume, trying to get a little bit of hype. This is a 3 million float stock that was a previous top gainer yesterday. So this stock was a previous top gainer yesterday, and this is again trying to get a little bit of that attention and start moving its way on up. 525 is going to be a pretty strong resistance line to stay above. Well, let's see if it can be able to hold. Right now, KERN not really getting any of that volume. We're going to switch CCXI back on the bottom. CCXI back on the bottom. So let's see right here. Again, I would love to see a $31 break. If CCXI ever breaks these 31 bucks, I would definitely look for a little bit of an entry to see if it could run up to like 32 bucks or so. I think that would be really solid. Yeah, I know. TVIX, guys, that's been falling, falling, falling. we've been doing, option lessons. I honestly think if you think the SPY is going to fall, just do a put contract on that instead. So I think that's, kind of a better option doing a put contract rather than looking at TVIX and doing an inverse ETF, especially after we, been learning about those the past 2 days on our options bootcamp lessons. Right now, guys, HEPA 525, strong resistance. Now starting to drop back down towards around that $5 mark. So that's starting to drop back down towards around that $5 mark on HEPA. Very quick pop, right? Nothing consistent yet. Nothing consistent yet. We're about 10 minutes into the market, right? We haven't seen really any sort of consistency. Let's look through our top gainers. CTIB is the #1 top gainer in the market right now, right? #1 top gainer in the market, CTIB. Right now, this doesn't really have any volume. SFET, #2 top gainer. That stock is starting to fade out a little bit. OCGN, this play, again, try to run up and break 50 cents, back down to 40 cents. FFHL, nothing there yet. PTI, trying to get a little continuation. PTI, trying to get a little bit of continuation. I'll put that on the bottom level too right now. We'll still keep HEPA up on the top. So nothing big yet. And again, I don't know if we're going to see anything big. Hopefully we do. It is the final trading day before Thanksgiving, right? So we're treating today like a Friday. We want to trade within that first hour and a half. As the day goes on, as things get longer, as the day goes on, we do lose more volume. People make money, people lose money, then people start getting ready for Thanksgiving. So let's see what we can get. I'm here again to make a trade. I'm here to make some profit with you guys. Same time, don't want to force, but hey, let's keep this green streak alive and let's keep it going. DK, I don't know if I'm going to scalp any options. I may just, if I'm going to do some option plays, maybe, look for more of like a swing trade, couple day hold towards them. A lot of them are bigger plays, but if it's like a super hot play, then yeah, maybe you just hold it for a day or so. Right now, again, and as you guys kind of know, I am leaning. I would love to see CCXI come up to $31, but just because that's a phase 3 trial met endpoints, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It doesn't look like CCXI is going to do that. So that keeps dropping on off right here. Makes it a little bit tougher to see, where that volume is going to go to next. HEPA. HEPA is still fighting. I'm not very confident in that one right now because if I buy in, what am I looking for? A 525 breakout all the way to like 550, but it did just get rejected at 525. And again, it has an upper shadow up towards around 550. Doesn't really make me too confident to hop in on HEPA right now. Right now, again, I don't expect too much from AVX. I would say maybe little tiny channel, if that. I think again, the stock's going to be one that's most likely just going to stay with inside this channel. Probably a lot of the times going back and forth, maybe between $20 and like 2060. EVH just got halted on the downside. EVH just went from 1074 down to 775. This just got halted on selling on EVH. That looks like some sort of like offering just came out or something. So EVH, we check that out. Nothing I see November 20th. Filings November 5th. So I don't see any offering or anything yet on EVH, but it looks like that is like what just came out. See that stock just, basically just drop on off right there. Bidmar, make sure you put some sort of an alert behind your ticker. Again, just having a ticker doesn't tell us anything. We always want to have some sort of alert behind it as well. PNRL, maybe a possible little pump trying to start on up over on PNRL. Traders, again, this is a very low volume play. It's an 8 million float stock, low volume play, but starting to get a little bit of hype. PNRL maybe a little bit of a pump today. Look at PNRL, guys, starting to get a little bit of craziness. It looks like this is actually about to get halted. It actually looks like PNRL. I'm not in on this play right now, but if it starts spiking, let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's about to get halted right here. Oh, it's still alive, PNRL. I was gonna try to pull the trigger for a moment and see if maybe it got halted. But you can see PNRL looks like it's trying to get kind of turned into the pump of the day. Because right now, penny stock traders don't really know where to go. Nothing's spiking right now. So people are just kind of running over to anything right now. There, look at it. May have gotten halted right here. Let's see. No guarantees yet because it could be one of those little fake out holds. There it is. So PNRL just got halted. PNRL just got halted. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. PNRL. Any filings? No filings. Any news? November 27th. Okay, so we actually do have a press release right here. Wednesday, November 27th, closes a $9 million royalty financing. This press release came out last night as well. It's pleased to advise further its announcement on September 18th that it's granted a royalty over the company's Buck Creek mining complex to raise $9 million. Okay, cool. So it does have some sort of press release behind it, right? So PNRL does have a press release behind it, and this stock is, currently halted. Did get some buy with a um, very low volume, large spread. I will say, if volume ever moved in on this play, I do think it could pick up very, very quick. And why do I think it could pick up very quick? Because not too many people trade this type of play, right? Not too many people are going to trade this type of stock. So if volume did move into it, it would get really crazy. Let's look a little bit more into this. Let me give you some examples. So if we look over on PNRL, the average volume PNRL is 5,000 shares. That's like one person. That's probably between, throughout the whole entire day. I mean, I could buy 5,000 shares and I could be the only person that trades the stock today. That's the average amount of volume that trades that. So that's basically nobody. Today has 138,000 shares. So that could honestly be like 100 or so people so far have played PNRL. It did come out with a press release 16 hours ago. PNRL, if we want to check this out, what is it? It's currently up 152%. The float is 8 million in float. But the thing is, what can we also look at? Like KRTX, there was like a play that was just like that. ARAV. There was, a stock I'm trying to think of that just had the same exact thing. When we have a very low average volume, and this is what I'm trying to say, guys. When we have a very low average volume and a very high current volume, that's where you're going to see some of the biggest rips, biggest runs. So if we look at PNRL and we have an average volume of 5,000 shares and the current volume is 138,000, I mean, this is a very big amount difference, right? We have a very big difference right here. Now, 138,000 shares isn't really that much, to be honest, but it is a huge increase from what we're usually seeing. So there are some eyes towards this stock. And with this stock getting more volume and going over even more and higher and higher and higher its average volume, this is a stock that can move very quickly. It can move very quickly, yes, because it is 8 million in float, and 8 million float's a decent float. It's not anything too crazy, but it's more because the stock is going to have a very large spread. And since this stock is going to have a large spread, it's going to help it be able to spike in a very quick fashion. Okay? So HEPA, or excuse me, PNRL, this is going to be a play that we definitely want to be watching. It definitely is a little on the pumpy side, it looks like, but at the same time, PNRL could catch fire. It really could. I may look for maybe a little bit of risky biscuit trade right here and see if PNRL could possibly go on a little bit of a rip or a run. I may try to put a limit order down low. Let's see how it opens on up. It is going to be a scary one to get in. It's basically if you want to get in, you don't want to really wait on this. If you're gonna hop in, if you're gonna say, Deck, I think this is gonna keep spiking, hop in on it and hold it out for that nice profit. But if you're saying, hey, Deck, I don't know about it, then if anything, do a little bit more of a limit order down low. Or you could say, Deck, this one's just not for me. I don't want to, force this one. I don't know what's going to happen next. Well, then just sit out of it. But PNRL is halted. It does have a press release towards it. It is a lower float stock. And on top of that, the stock does have potential to catch some fire with the larger spread that it has. All right. So a couple things we definitely want to be looking at. And you're saying, Deck, are you interested? I'm definitely interested in this play. I really am. I'm definitely interested on this play. I'll drag over my broker so you guys can see exactly when I get in or out. Obviously, again, I always do that. So I'll put this right. Yeah. I'll put this on the bottom, just kind of smack dab in the middle. And if I ever hop in on this play, you'll be able to see me. If I ever hop in on the play, you'll be able to see it right there. Let's see what's gonna happen here on PNRL. Yeah, 950. Here we go, guys. PNRL. Here we go. Let's see if this comes out with a 5-minute hold. Oh no, we don't want this again. This is what happened last Friday. Last Friday we had a 30-minute hold. Then we had a 10-minute hold. Then we had like 5 10-minute holds. I don't know if I want to go through this again. Right? This was, I just want to stick with some nice, easy 5-minute holds and get cracking. Yeah, so yeah, it might be those 10-minute holds, and we'll see if it goes even higher than a 10-minute hold. So I don't know if I want to go through this again. Again, it's still not. It's not a bad play if it's a 10-minute hold. It's not a bad play if it's a 10-minute hold. It's just it's just more annoying. Just because you have to wait longer, right? If it goes over 10 minutes, that's when I get a little bit more concerned. But it's more about you just have to wait longer. That's the only negative about 10-minute hold. It's just you got to sit around for another 5 minutes. Let's see what we have. ONTX, check that one out. ONTX, little guy, 14 cents. Trying to get a little bit of hype. Again, nothing really too crazy yet. Nothing really too crazy yet. PNRL, number one top gainer. We're all focusing on that one right now. Everyone's still looking at that play. OCGN right here. Nothing on OCGN. That stock got rejected at 45 cents, starting to fall back on down. CTIB, that stock's getting rejected over here on its 13 EMA. That's why that stock's falling back on down. SFET, this stock has just been ugly since the whole entire day. If anything, short it. FFHL, the stock has been ugly the whole entire day. Nothing there. HEPA is still fighting. The only two stocks I think that you guys need to be looking at right now is HEPA and PNRL. Those are really the only top two that you guys really need to be looking at. Maybe PTI if you're looking for something a little bit more, slow. But I would really just go with PNRL, HEPA, as HEPA is trying to battle. If you do look at again our live stream though right here, you have a lot of resistance right here along this 540ish mark. 540 is the main resistance I'm seeing on HEPA. Break of that 540 mark, where can you get up to? Most likely right around this 575 mark. So if you can break through 540, 575 would be that next resistance line that you would want this stock to be able to get up to. If it comes back down towards around $5 or cracks $5, that's when that one's probably done. All right. If you're wondering, Deck, it's Wednesday, it's midweek. Why is things a little bit lighter right now? What's going on right here? Again, we got to think outside the box. We got to think outside the market, right? Tomorrow, the market's closed. We got the holiday, right? So, stock market's closed on Friday, or stock market's closed tomorrow, half day on Friday, right? Think about what most people are doing today. Most are ending their workday and getting ready for Thanksgiving, traveling to family and friends, and having small vacation breaks. So what we have here, with all this happening, number one, volume is going to be lower, and number two, companies are not going to put out hot press releases. Lack of PRs, lack of volume equals lack of spikes, which equals lack of profit. We will trade today until there's nothing to trade, and then we'll kick off our 4-day vacation. So right here we are just trading until there's nothing to trade. But PNRL giving us again a chance today, giving us a chance this morning. MYOV still trying to get that slow and steady climb. MYOV, nice. MYOV, nice. Okay, so I like that play. I've been liking MYOV. Again, all comes down to that 1550 break. 1550 break over on MYOV. Nice play. 1550 was a little bit of resistance, but that got that nice climb, nice pop. I'm going to put MYOV on that bottom. Finally, that one started getting some nice ripping. You guys have known I've loved that one for the past 2 days. I played that one 2 days ago. On this first green day, I made $350, right? On MYOV on this first green day back on November 22nd. That's when I made, or excuse me, that was on November 25th. I was able to make $350. I was looking for the 1550 break. PNRL is kind of distracting me a little bit, but MYOV, nice pop. Good job right there. Thank you, AK. PNRL should be getting unhalted in about 45 seconds, guys. I know Iggy's looking over on HEPA. Be careful on HEPA, depending on how PNRL opens up. If PNRL dumps, you could get some volume back over on HEPA, but HEPA has been underneath that 540 mark for a little bit now. Has tested it 3 times, hasn't been able to break out. Be careful on that one. Maybe want to lock in half or so. As long as you have a game plan, that's the most important thing. Right now, okay, PNRL guys should be getting unholted in about 5 seconds. Okay, PNRL. I moved out my broker to the bottom of the screen. PNRL is back right now. PNRL is back. It did have a gap up, and it is starting to move really well right here over on PNRL. Looks like it's about to get halted once again, but let's see if it is or not. Right now, again, it moved all the way up towards around that 450-ish mark. Stock is still going. Very, very tough to enter because I know it's not the easiest play. It's probably going to, let's see. Every time I see like a large amount of bids start going, I'm like, oh, it's about to get halted. Yep, there's the bids start coming on in. It looks like it's about to get halted again. PNRL. So PNRL, here's the second halt that's going to be coming on in on this play. And now we're going to be getting halted up towards that $5 mark. So we're going to get halted up towards around that $5 mark on this play. What time is it right now? 9:56. PNRL, it hasn't popped up on the halt scanner yet. I haven't heard that little bing in my headphones, but it is halted, as you guys can see. If it's another 10-minute halt, it's going to get unhalted at 10:06. If it's not a 10-minute halt, it's going to get unhalted at 10:01. Good job if you guys pulled the trigger. Good job if you guys pulled the trigger right there. Here's a nice little money maker. Nice little money maker. Not the easiest play to get involved with, right? Not the easiest play to get involved with, but hey, nice little money maker. If anything, we could look for a little bit of that dip buy, right? If anything, we could look for a little bit of a dip buy. PNRL coming up towards around $5. Here's the money maker before Thanksgiving break right here, guys. Here's the money maker before Thanksgiving break. So great work, great job. And we'll see if this one is going to be able to get any sort of spiking towards it. You know, everyone who pulled the trigger and, you know, got in on these plays, you know, great work. So PNRL, $5, third strongest resistance line in penny stock. We're going to be able to get that $5 break and be able to continue to move on up. You're saying, Deck, you know, I can't get in this high. Hey, I definitely understand that. You know, you may want to look for a possible bounce play back down towards maybe around, you know, low $3 or so. Does have some support back down towards around 350. 350 will be a big support line because that's where the stock was holding dip by as the stock starts coming back on down. And if it's again a 5-minute hold, we have to wait about another 9 minutes here. So we got some time to kill. But basically, again, traders didn't see anything they were loving this morning. Everyone was really just looking around for the best play. And then what happened? Everyone, you know, caught some fire. PNRL caught some fire. And that happens, right? That happens. Plays are going to catch fire. Plays are going to move on up. So you have support back down at the old halt area, back at around this 350-ish mark. And then again, $5 is going to be resistance. I'm pretty sure we're going to at least touch $5 as we open up, right? You know, when we open up, we're at least going to be touching that $5 mark most likely. And then, you know, we'll see if we're going to be able to break through it. If you want to, you can put a limit order up high to sell at $5. You know, that's not a bad opportunity. But that's the only annoying thing about 10-minute holds. 10-minute holds, we just have a longer period we have to wait, and that's again just, you know, the only issue. That's the only problem. Just take some time. Sir Watson, at 359 hold, if you wanted to get in, where should you buy at during the holds? I put in an order at 365, but it did not get filled. Do you know why? Orders don't get filled during holds. You can't, you know, get filled during hold. Also, it gapped up above 365. It opened up at 385. So if you put a limit order at 365 during a hold, first off, again, orders do not go through during holds, and number two, it never came down to 365. Even if you market order in during a hold, it's not going to get filled until the hold is unhalted. So, you know, number one, it doesn't get filled during a hold. Number two, if you put a limit order at 365, it gapped above that up to 385, so it's not going to fill your order. And number three, again, you can only market order in, you know, if you want to get filled right away after the hold. We have the Holt scanner right here, Diener. We had PNRL pop up on the first one. The second Holt did not pop up, but I just looked at the clock, and the clock was at 9:56 at the time. So if it's a 5-minute Holt, it's going to get unholted in 1 minute. If it's not a 5-minute Holt, then it's going to get holted at 10:06.